Many of you astute viewers have asked me about AB5 and my take on it, and I think I have a different take than many of you do on it. So let's get your opinion on what you think about what I'm about to say. Let's see where we're going with all this. Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. I'm Mark, your company driver host. As we know, recently a judge just halted the implementation of AB5 in California, the independent contractor dealio there, for trucking only. It was a very narrow ruling, trucking, and it is currently indefinitely on hold for truck drivers. Now I have a question. Why aren't many of these independent contractor drivers, why aren't they really employees? Now, before you start throwing knives and throwing your phones out the window, okay, hear me out. Listen to what I'm about to say with no emotion like, oh, well, this is the way it's always been. That's not a good reason to do anything. Look up the history of the country. This will put people out of work. That's also not a reason for this law per se. Okay, so hear me out. Here's the thing. So I start a trucking company, Trucking Answers Trucking. All right. You have a truck that you own. You purchase the tool, that truck, and you say, Mark, I'm going to lease on my truck to your company. So we put the name of my company on your door, leased to Trucking Answers Trucking. I put my DOT number on your door. I go get the freight, give it to you, you haul it, I pay you. Are you an employee? Do you not work for me? Is owning the truck what you're hanging your hat on to be an independent contractor? See, I've always felt that an owner-operator is someone who actually owns the truck and their business. They are in business for themselves. Their name is on the door. They get a DOT number. They have authority. They run their own business. This person that I just talked about here at Trucking Answers Trucking is working for my business. Now let's relate this back to a mechanic to see what I'm talking about. So I open up a Ford dealer, Trucking Answers Ford. Well, wait a minute. There wouldn't be anybody coming in to get their car fixed, right? Because it's Ford's. So I have to open up a Chevy dealer, Trucking Answers Chevy. So a bunch of people come in to get their Chevys fixed, right? And so they come in and get their car fixed. I give that work to the mechanic who has provided the tools. Many of the mechanics also buy their own tools. So they own their tools. I give him work. I pay him. My name is on his shirt. I pay his salary. The truck, just like the truck can come out of your paycheck, those tools can be deducted from his paycheck. Same thing if you're leasing a truck from a company, right? That deduction can come right out of your settlement the same way as the mechanic. That mechanic is an employee. Nobody argues that that mechanic is independent. What's the difference? Aha, you say, Mark, I've got you. This is the difference. All right, let me know what that difference is. Because the mechanic, to be independent, would have to open his own shop up to fix Chevys. Then he is independent. But as long as he's getting his work from somebody else, he's not considered independent. He's considered an employee, and nobody thinks anything about that. So if then the name on the truck is not your name, why are you independent? That's a serious question that really needs to be debated in this. Remember, this judge didn't say that the law isn't correct. AB5 is not correct. He just said that federal law preempts the state from enforcing that the federal government could in fact say that. It's just that the state's not allowed to say it. So in my scenario, only someone who owns a truck and actually starts a business, goes on the way to actually start a business, is independent, an independent businessman. Now, am I a genius, am I right, or am I an idiot and I'm wrong? Either way, I'm sure that you'll tell me, as you always do, but that's my take on AB5. I think it's a different take than most people. Don't at me with emotions. Oh, this is going to ruin people. That's not, we're talking the specifics of the law and how it should apply to the marketplace, right? If people are being taken advantage of, look in California especially, many port workers, many drivers are horribly being taken advantage of. They're forced into independent contractor relationships, and they're not. And those people do need relief from this. So let's talk about it, and we'll see you on the next Trucking Answers.